Hello to all the comic fans, Marvel geeks, and all the nerds in between. Welcome to another episode of the Vigilante Vibes podcast, where we talk all things Marvel along with all the other fandoms, but without the toxicity that's taken up way too much space in each and every fandom. I'm your host, Megan Nicole, and we're here to have another episode of Elevating the Nerdy Voices of the Rainbow, where we lift up the voices of the LGBTQ communities. Today joining me, I have Justin, who I'm very excited to talk to.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for coming on. I'm so excited.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. You're always more than welcome. We've chatted back and forth for so long in our Facebook group, so
Yes, we
it's fun
have.
to actually see each other.
Yes, exactly.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Um, well, where should I start? What would you like to know?
So you are in the LGBTQ communities, and
Yes.
this is a nerdy podcast. So what kind of nerdy stuff do you like?
I love a lot of nerdy stuff. I like Marvel movies. I'm a heavy gamer. I recently just bought the Sekiro game. So I've just recently started playing that. I don't know what it's.
It's okay. It happens when everyone comes on their first podcast. They kind of blank, and they're. It's like when someone asks you, "What's your favorite restaurant?" and you are like, "I don't remember any restaurant I've ever eaten at in my life."
Well, as you can see behind me too, I love to read, and I'm a
Me
heavy
too.
reader and things like that. Um, I actually just recently started liking Marvel when I was into my adulthood. I haven't really read any comic books. I
Hmm.
get a lot of my sources from the movies and then the groups that we're part of. That's when if I want to delve deeper, I like to go into the groups and ask questions because I don't have time to be reading comic books. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just
It's
something I'm
time
not.
consuming.
Yeah, exactly. This is like you don't even know where to start. Like, there's this storyline, but then you have to read this storyline to connect. It's just like there's so much, and it kind of gets confusing when you're trying to figure out where to even start.
Yeah, because it's been going on for so long and it's all so intertwined together. It is really hard. But I
It
do believe
is.
Marvel is coming out with a book that's a Marvel Comics for Dummies that where it's such a mean name, but it's the name.
I like it
Yeah.
though.
So it kind of they're like, we're just going to squish it all into one book. So if you never read a comic in your life, you can understand at least most of it. So I'm
Yeah,
interested to check it out. But I mean, that could, if you're ever interested in starting comics, that would could be a pretty cool place for you to start.
I might check that out. I remember playing. I remember when I was like really young, back when I was maybe in third grade or so. I went to a friend's house and they were playing PS2, the Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And I just saw like my jaw was dropped. I'm like, I want to play this game. I got back to my parents' house. I'm like, can you guys get this game for me? And I remember playing it. I mean, I was really young, so I couldn't really get far into it. I think I gave up on it because it just got way too difficult at the age that I was for me. And then that's when Iron Man started coming out when I was like in third grade. And I wasn't too heavily into it. I mean, at my mindset, I was just looking for action.
Hmm.
And then as I gotten older, I'm like, I kind of like all this stuff now.
So would you say Iron Man's a big favorite of yours, or is there someone else that you have your eye
I
on?
actually like the what do you call it? The Doctor Strange movies.
Those are great.
Those are I remember when it first came out, there was like a lot of hate. I mean, obviously every now that I'm more into the fandom, I can see that there's hate for everything. But I remember people kept saying how bad the Doctor Strange movie was because it's just fully loaded with CGI and things like that. And I'm like, but now as I watch it, I'm like, the CGI is what makes it really cool. How are you gonna
Yeah.
have this character who's in the mystic arts and not have the CGI?
There's no way to do the movie without it because I understand some people like a physical set, but this guy is going through a dimension of mirrors.
Yeah.
So I don't see how that's gonna work, especially the cameras right there. But
Mm-hmm.
CGI has never been a big deal for me personally because it's I know it's a fantasy thing. I know it's
Right,
not real.
exactly.
It's okay if it doesn't look real.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I love about the Doctor Strange movies too, because they're just so mind twisted. Like, it's like something you don't really see in an everyday movie, like the way they go into realms and things like that. It's just always kind of like mind boggling how the effects go and things. I just love all that mystic arts things.
I do too. It's just so different from anything else I've seen. And you know, the comics the comics counterpart of him are very he's very much more serious in the comics. So I really like what Benedict brought to the role.
I didn't know. So you're saying he's more of a serious tone in the comic books?
Him from what I haven't read too much of Doctor Strange. Like I haven't dove into his because that's a whole world of a lot of stuff that I don't think I'm ready for. But
Yeah.
what I have read, he is very serious. He very kind of like the way he is in Spider-Man No Way Home with Peter
Oh, yeah.
Parker.
That was a good movie too. I love the Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Doctor Strange are those are my two favorites.
What who's your favorite Spider-Man?
I'm gonna say oh, Tom Holland. There we go. I'm
That's
not.
mine too.
I tried. What I like the Andrew Garfield. I can't get behind it. I feel like it's just there's so much going on in just those two movies. It doesn't have the same finesse like what's the other guy? The one that before him.
Toby
Yeah.
Maguire.
Yeah, I feel like Toby had like laid the groundwork, and I feel like Andrew didn't quite take the mantle, and I felt like Tom Holland kind of carried it through.
Yeah, I could see that. I think Andrew made a great Spider-Man, a really good one. But his Peter Parker was it was great, but it was a little too cool of a guy when
Yeah,
you're kind of used to Spider-Man being this dweeby little guy who just kind of gets bullied by Flash
exactly.
Thompson. And Toby's I had a hard time connecting with because he's like a 30 something year old man in high school, and that just never never really helped my situation there. But Tom Holland feels like the best of both worlds, the best Peter Parker and the best
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man.
Exactly. Yeah. I like the quirkiness to him and the little comebacks as he's fighting, and then as we've seen like Avenger movies, people like there's not this much talking during fighting.
He's
I
like, "Oh,
think that
my
just
bad."
sums it up so well.
It's so funny because that's how he is in the comics too. Like it's always something funny, a little quip. And it's Tom Holland pulls that off so well.
I
And I feel
really
like
want
Toby
to.
didn't for me.
Exactly, yeah.
Mm.
I want to see a movie with Tom Holland and Deadpool, Spider-Man and Deadpool.
Yes.
I would love to see that. But I want to know how they were going to do that since Deadpool's like R-rated and Peter, Spider-Man is more PG-13 for like families a little bit. So I'm kind of curious how Marvel could do that kind of mashup.
Well, they do it in the comics. Deadpool goes in like everyone's comics. He's everywhere, but he
Yeah,
does really well with Spider-Man. I think there are ways you can get around the rating difference, like you he alludes to something or makes a joke that's like, "Oh," but the parents are like, "Oh." Like they can
yeah.
do it. It's not hard. But I think him and Tom Holland Spider-Man might work the best comic accuracy wise. I think they would have the best chemistry.
I think so too. I mean, just the actors too alone, I know they already have good chemistry. So just that one little crossover would be the cake on the top, icing
Yeah.
on the cake.
Yeah. So, speaking of Marvel movies, did you see the new Captain America?
No, I have not yet.
No.
I, I've been needing to see it, but work ties me up a
Yeah.
lot. It's then when I'm off, when I have off days, I'm just all like, I want to stay home and not do anything. I want to hide.
I totally get that because going to the movies, I love the event of going to the movies, but that's like an all day thing for me because it's like that's a lot. That's a lot of people. I'm tired. When I'm
It
done, I
is.
want to go home.
Exactly, yeah. And then yeah, I was kind of bummed because I did want to see that one in theaters. I'm like, that was one of the ones I was really looking forward to, but in the end, I couldn't. But we always miss movies here and there that we can't see in theaters.
Yeah, I missed Eternals and Black Widow and Shang-Chi in theaters. And I was like, Mother of God.
I think those were the three that I missed. I wish I would have seen Shang-Chi in theaters. And when I saw it in home, I'm like, this would have been really cool in a movie theater. This would have been
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah, same with Eternals. I was like, man, I would have really liked to see that in theaters. But it was like COVID at the time, and
Oh yeah.
I was very pregnant, so I could not, I didn't know anything about COVID, so I was like, I'm not about to risk it.
Yeah,
Ugh,
exactly.
you
I
just
th-
don't know.
I wasn't a fan of in Eternals. I try to like it, but I feel like they were cramming so much into a movie, like all of the characters and then like the lore. I felt like there was just so much. I felt like that movie could have easily been like two parts and it would have been worked a lot better.
Yeah, I agree because that was a lot of characters to introduce, especially to a more casual audience that doesn't read the comics. I feel like they
Yeah,
should have had a mini series where each episode was about one of the characters.
that's a
And
good
then
idea. They should have done that.
I'm saying, and then it led right into the Eternals, and I think that would have made such a huge difference. Now I don't know if we're ever going to see those characters again, which is like
uh,
it's such a bummer because like some of them are really cool.
I
Some of them
wouldn't
are.
say never because we Eternals came back in COVID, you said, and we've had all these Marvel movies with no indication of what happened at the end of the movie until we got the new Captain America movie because obviously I saw the trailer and they're showing the hand, so I'm pretty sure they have ideas. It's just going to
Mm-hmm.
take them years to
Yeah,
implement those ideas. I
which
think we would
sucks.
see them again, maybe.
I think some of them we will. I think others will kind of like give up on the character because it's been so long. How can you blame them? Like I don't think we're gonna see Angelina Jolie back.
Yeah, maybe not. And they probably could have a good reason, because some of them wanted to stop the recursion, I think that is called.
Mm-hmm. The
Um,
incursion.
incursion, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some of them wanted to stop that, so I think there would make sense for them to take a step back and we won't see certain ones.
I could see
They
that.
don't want to be like in the fray of fight. They want to just live a normal life now.
Yeah, I could see that completely. Like
I think
Fastos, could want to just chill out, live with his family, his husband and son. That makes
Yep,
sense.
exactly. I don't think he even really wanted to be part of it anymore. Like when they reintroduced him, he's like, I don't want nothing to do with this. Like, can you leave me alone, please?
I think so too. But he did it because he's a hero.
I want to see She-Hulk again. I know a lot of people did not like her, but me personally, I don't know much about her, but what I do know is that she's meant to be weird, quirky, corny, breaking fourth wall. So, me personally, I felt like that show was done very well.
The one thing to know about the show She-Hulk that no one can take away from it, even if you hated it, it is the most comic accurate show that they've made.
Yeah.
She-Hulk was exactly how she is in the comics. It was to a T. It was perfect.
Hmm.
Daredevil, people complain about how Daredevil was in the show, but he takes up so many different tones in the comics. It was comic accurate. His acrobatic skills, even the yellow and red suit, it was accurate, and they fixed his tone to match the show.
Right.
So I loved the show. I liked that they tried to be different. I liked they made it into a sitcom format. I even liked the ending. I thought it was super weird.
I thought the ending took me like for a minute. When it happened, I'm like, what's going on? I was not expecting that kind of ending, but like you said, in the end, I did appreciate for because it just matched the whole tone of the show. The
Yeah,
show wasn't meant to be serious. It wasn't meant to be taken. It's a very lighthearted show just to have fun with it and just make a good laugh.
exactly. It was, and we need that because you can have so many action packed shows, action packed movies. You can have them all, but like Kevin Feige once said, like the way to get around superhero fatigue is to do different things. And that's
Hmm.
what he did. They did it with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness when they made a horror movie. That is
That was my favorite. One of my favorite Marvel movies is Multiverse of Madness. It gets
really.
so much hate, but I just loved it. I just, it was so dark and just eerie. and just like the whole time I'm just sitting in the theater with my jaw dropped. I'm like, it starts action packed and it doesn't let up until the very end.
Yeah, it really was. It was a wild ride. I
It,
liked it for what
hmm
it was, but there were things I wanted differently. I thought Wanda and Doctor Strange were going to be like a buddy cop kind of team. I didn't know she was going to be the bad guy, which worked. But I think I would like to see how that would have gone.
Yeah, exactly. Um, I I I kind of figured Wanda was gonna be the villain, and it kind of fit for like how WandaVision ended. I do like the continuity from the effects of what happened to Wanda in WandaVision, losing her kids and taking hold of the Darkhold to find her kids, and like her being the main villain in this quest to get her kids. I kind of like that continuity from one thing to the another.
I did too because I feel like that doesn't happen very often. It's happened with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Captain America: Brave New World, and it happened here. I liked that they took it from the series to the movie, and
Right.
it did show a very good thread from Marvel Television to Marvel Studios, and it included a lot from WandaVision. And I thought it was really well done. I thought the cast did amazingly, and I'd love to see America Chavez show up somewhere else.
Yeah, when I went to go see that movie, I saw it with a friend, and he's not into Marvel as much as I am, or are you? So he doesn't watch a lot of the shows, and he was kind of confused in Multiverse of Madness of why Wanda was bad. I'm like, you need to go watch WandaVision. Like the first two episodes are kind of a little bumpy, but get to the third episode and you like it, and then you kind of understand where everything's. And then he did that. He watched. He's like, okay, I see where everything's connected now. I can understand why she was doing what she was doing.
Yeah, the first two episodes are interesting, but once I feel like I was like, oh, I hate these first few episodes, and then I finally finished the show, and I was like, oh, it all makes sense now. Okay, now I like
Yeah,
them now. They make sense.
right. I wanted to see. There was a theory. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but I don't remember the theory. But I was like, what was the theory? I was hoping to see probably like White Vision in the new Strange movie, but I don't. I had a theory for it, but I can't remember it on top of my head. It's been a minute since I've seen the movie and made theories and everything.
Yeah, I get that. There's so many theories that go around in my head. I'm like, I don't even remember. I have theories I made today, and I couldn't tell you what they are. They're all just, it's all like one big blob in there.
What are you looking forward to in the Doomsday movie? What do you hope that they do in the Doomsday movie?
Um, I don't. I hope it's shown or alluded to that there's going to be some kind of soft reboot, some multiversal something that kind of points us in the direction of Robert Downey Jr. not being the main Doctor Doom. I'm okay with him being Doctor Doom in these movies, but I don't want him as the main one because I feel like that means he's not going to stick around. I want Doctor
Right.
Doom to always be there in the background.
I don't. I think what they're doing with Robert Downey Jr. being Doctor Doom, I think they're playing a little trick in our head, saying that's gonna be Doctor Doom, but like he might show up as our Doctor Doom variant in the movie,
Yeah.
but I don't think he's gonna be the main one in the movie.
I had a I think that too actually. I agree with you a lot. I think what if he's not even Doctor Doom, but he just looks like Doctor Doom's Doombots? Do you know what the Doombots are by any chance?
I think I know what the Doombots are. I've seen some of the Marvel cartoon shows when I was a
Okay,
kid.
cool, cool, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I was like, what if he's just the look of the Doombots and we never see Doctor Doom's face?
that could be true. Because I do know that Doctor Doom doesn't ever really reveal his face in the comics. I know that his face is obscured, so nobody knows what he looks like.
Yeah, he's such a cool character in the comics. Like so cool. Easily my favorite villain of all time. So I want them to take such precious care of this little angel so bad because I'm so stressed because they pivoted from King so fast and then
Oh
said, "Oh,
yeah.
yeah." And I feel like that was such a bad idea. Uh I feel like they could have recast Kang because Kang the Conqueror, he is the character that if you need to recast, you're good. He has so many
Yeah.
different looks in the comics. It makes sense. It's fine. We all get it. It's cool.
I
Kang
was
and
disappointed with Kang in the Ant-Man series, the
we all
Ant-Man
were.
3.
We all were.
Because what I know from Kang is he's this big, bad person. He's like super hard to defeat. So, I felt like Ant-Man 3 is going to be like this pivot point in the I never seen Marvel as a downward spiral, me personally. I never seen it go downward. I like every single movie for what it is. I never like, oh, this movie's bad now. Marvel's going to. I never seen it that way. But I just felt like Kang, with him in Ant-Man 3, would have this big pivot point to a more serious tone of Marvel. And then we didn't get that. He got defeated by some ants.
I feel like they knew that, he Kang was supposed to be along for a long time, which is such a stupid thing to do. Why would you put the entire phase on one man's shoulders? That was just so dumb. But whatever. I think they're like, see, we're going to show them this is the least threatening variant, and we're just going to work our way up to King Dynasty. But then, like, that didn't work out. Other things happened in real life that now it just make it look like Kang is can be taken down by ants.
I I read somewhere that Marvel might, I don't know if it's a, I know it's a rumor, I don't know how true it is. Marvel might bring back the dude who played Kang to finish his storyline off. I think like in the beginning of Doomsday or something like that.
I've seen that rumor. It's kind of like the rumor that every time a new Marvel movie comes out, like they're like, "Oh, Scarlet Witch is in this movie," and you're like, "No, she's not." I've said it about every movie, but I would like that because Kang and Doctor Doom are so intertwined in the comics. So I think having Kang show up, kind of like say, "All right, I'm about to beat the trash out of all of you," and then Doom just kills him. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a great way. Just use Kang to introduce Doom. Don't just be like, "Oh, Doom's always been there. He's just been quiet." Like, don't do that. But I know they're
Yeah,
going to.
I hope they don't do that. I hope they don't just say like, "Oh yeah, he's been in the background for this whole time." We're like, but there was no indication, there was no nothing. I would not want to see
Latveria,
that.
Latveria has never been brought up once. Doctor
Yeah,
Doom has never been brought up.
well, we do have Fantastic Four coming
Yeah,
in this
I
year.
think it's July. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we might see hints of Doctor Doom starting in that movie.
What I really hope they do leading up to Avengers Doomsday is give every movie a Doctor Doom post credit scene.
Oh,
That's like Thunderbolts, give them their usual one you're going to have. I don't know what it is. But then at the very end, show a little hint of Doctor Doom and keep doing it until Doctor Doom is in the movie you're showing.
right, yeah. That would be ideal. That would be ideal, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
They have to start setting up. They need to start building them up now because it's like, yeah, Avengers Doomsday feels like it's very far off, but it's not.
It's not.
It's not for a
These
Doctor
years go
Doom
by so
movie.
fast.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're already at Daredevil Born Again this week, and like that came up quick.
Yeah, I want to. I want to know if Wanda's gonna come back as the
Oh
Scarlet
yeah,
Witch.
100%. I can tell you right now, yes.
Well, it seemed like she kind of died. Spoilers. She seems to like she kind of died in the multiverse of madness.
One
Seemed
of
like
them
she
did.
kind of got crushed.
One of her did.
One of her,
Remember that movie is all about variants. One of her did. One Wanda did die, but
but what? It seemed like the Wanda that we know was the
yeah.
one that died.
See, there's. I know she's coming back because they have Billy and Tommy now, her sons,
Hmm.
and I know they're gonna do something. They're gonna say, "Well, she did die, but she came back." Like in the comics, Wanda dies a lot, and then goes like to hell, and gets a new body. Like she does it a lot. It's a cool thing. So I'm not too worried about her coming back. I do like that they left it open kind of for interpretation. Like, if you thought she died, cool. If you don't, don't. But I think Kevin Feige did say she died.
Yeah.
But, like, she's coming back. Like, there's
And,
no way.
and you're right, there is multiple variants of a Wanda, but I like this Wanda because she's a lot stronger. You can see compared to the Wanda that she saw in the world wherever she went to see Billy and Tommy. That Wanda doesn't really know how to fight or anything. Doesn't really know how to use her powers because she never really had to.
That's true. But there's so many variants to choose from. If they do go the variant route, if they're not just going to give her a whole new body,
Right.
because like the Scarlet Witch spirit could still be like alive or whatever. You know how they get so deep about it. Like they had Tommy's soul swimming around the world for how long until Billy put him in a body and Agatha all along.
Did he put him in a body?
Yeah, at the end, the last episode. Remember, it was a kid who was like drowning,
Yeah.
and yeah, they put that kid who was drowning died, and then they put Tommy in the body.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I didn't catch that.
yeah,
I was kind of confused at that little part. I was like, I don't know what's going on here.
yeah. No, that was Billy was fine. Billy could feel him, but he couldn't find him. That meant he was not in a physical body. His soul was just going around, like kind of like in a circle, like no way to stop.
I
So Billy found Tommy, and then Billy, like, you know how they're like, someone dies at this every so often, just find someone. And they found the kid who drowned, and then put Tommy in there.
wow.
Hmm.
I loved how Billy's so much. It seems like Billy's so much stronger
Yeah,
than his mother. He
he's
created that whole uh Rich's Road thing and everything, and there was so many hints to it being him.
mm-hmm.
There's like all those little seeds planted. Like if you go back and watch it, you could see all the seeds planted that they're hinting that it's not a real road. You could see like, Agatha being shocked that it actually worked and things like that. And I thought it was interesting to see Agatha was using it just to steal powers, really.
I think that show was so brilliant throughout it blew my mind, and they changed so much from the comics, but they did it so well. I loved it.
It was really good. What I don't understand was like the people who died, they just died, forever since it, but it was incantation, so it wouldn't seem like they should be dying from an incantation. Would that make sense?
With Agatha.
Yeah, when they went on the Rich's Road and like different witches were dying and stuff, it just made no sense. Like it was a figment of somebody's imagination, so it doesn't seem like they should have stayed dead. They should have like exited the
Oh,
incantation of where they are.
you mean Mrs. Hart?
Yeah,
I was
Mrs.
curious
Hart
about
and a
that
couple others.
myself. I thought, like, surely Mrs. Hart is coming back, but then it's like, so Billy killed her? Oh my god, he meant his business. He stood on business.
Yeah, I don't think Billy quite knew what he was doing,
Mm-mm.
though. I don't think he knows the extent of his powers. And that's what it kind of confused me
Mm-hmm.
was at the end of Agatha was he all of a sudden just had complete control of his powers. That was the only gripe that I had was like the whole season he didn't have no idea how to use his powers, and now he's fighting death. And I'm like, I don't he now he knows how to use the powers?
So he didn't remember who he was. He didn't remember he had
Hmm.
powers, and I guess Agatha kind of like woke him up to it.
Okay.
So his powers just kind of came naturally to him, just like his mom. But in the comics, he is so much stronger. He is destined to be an entity at the end of his life. Like
Right.
he is a big power player. So I'm very curious to see what they do with him next, because he is so overpowered. Like what can like I would not I want to see them fight together, like alongside each
Oh,
other.
yeah. But Tommy doesn't have waking powers, right? He
Mm-mm.
just has speed powers.
Yeah, just like Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch is twin.
Right. I want to see Billy. and Wanda in Doomsday. I want to see them go head to head with Doomsday. I feel like they could do some real damage with Doomsday.
I think so too. Think they're both going to be there. I think Wanda's 100% going to be there, and they just need to stop gaslighting us into thinking she's not. Like, she's
Yeah,
totally going to be there.
exactly. Like she could have taken on Thanos. She almost did kill Thanos by
Yeah,
herself.
yeah.
But just because he rained fire down on her, that's the only reason why she couldn't kill him.
Yeah, and she's just been through so much in her life. It's not fair to leave her ending being
Hmm.
crushed in a mountain. Like, she needs a redemption from what she did in WandaVision and
Well, that
Multiverse of
sort of
Madness.
was a redemption of her taking down the temple and essentially killing herself. Uh, Kind of saying what she was doing was wrong because that's what American Chavez was showing her when they she opened up the portal. She's like, "Look, you go take your kids," and she finally saw when her kids were scared of her. She's like, "This is not right," you know. She finally kind of had that click.
See, I think that was redemption for her, all she did in Multiverse of Madness and becoming the Scarlet Witch and being possessed by the spirit of the Scarlet Witch. I think with WandaVision, it's very strange how they put it all together because it's like she was in WandaVision, she took control of people and lives, never got
Right.
redemption for that, and then went straight into Multiverse of Madness, continued this baddie era of hers, which I'm cool with. That's fine. And then just gets crushed, and it's like I think she did that to get rid of the Scarlet Witch, but I think she will always be the Scarlet Witch. So
Mm-hmm. I think she will. But would they since she destroyed the Darkhold temple, is the Darkhold no longer or is it still a thing?
it's no longer.
Right. I
Yeah.
want to see what they do with the Doctor Strange and the way that Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness ended. I want to see what direction are we headed now with Doctor Strange and his third eye and everything like that.
I don't know. That felt like such a thread that's never going to be pulled, like just a loose end. And it's like, what are you planning? I don't. And they have Clea. I've never said her name out loud. Um, the blonde woman at the end with him. It's like, I believe that's his wife in the comics. And it's like, where are we going? Because you're promising a lot of things I'm very confused about.
That's the thing with Doctor Strange movies. They like the endings like that,
Hmm.
they don't ever have any finishing. Like in the first movie, there was Modar, I think that was him,
Hmm.
taking away people's abilities to walk, taking the magic away because they don't deserve it. And we saw him turning into this bad guy, but then we don't ever get to see where that went. They just kind of left that open in the air. And I feel like they did that again with this Doctor Strange movie. They're just kind of leaving open endings and never really finishing them.
It's kind of rude if you ask me.
It is weird.
Well,
Exactly.
so we're getting to the end of the episode. You have been so much fun. This is
Thank you.
this has been so fun. I always talk comics to people. I never get to talk like just MCU to people. So this has been really exciting for me.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
So you're welcome back anytime, obviously.
Thank
Um,
you. I appreciate that.
of course, and you killed it on your first time. It was amazing.
Thank you.
So, thank you for listening to this episode of Vigilante Vibes. Wherever you're listening to this episode, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my amazing guests like Justin or any future episode. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Have a marvelous night.